Hello, my friends. I have a special story I want to read to you guys. But first, we need to go over your vocabulary words that you've been learning so that when I read the story, you can give me a twinkle when you hear those words. Okay. Our first word that we learned is vehicle. Vehicle. So a vehicle is an object used to move things or people from one place to another. So a vehicle, like a car, a boat, an airplane, a truck, a bus. Those are all vehicles that move people or move things. Okay, our next word is wide. When something is wide, it is big from one side to the other. Wide. It's like a wide river or a wide road that can fit lots of cars. Okay, our next word is fierce. When something is fierce, it is very strong, like a very strong wind that's blowing through and knocks things over. So that's the word fierce. Okay, our next word is transportation. So transportation is the way we move from one place to another. So a bicycle is your transportation from your house to your neighbor's house. Or your car might be your parents' transportation from your house to their job. Or a bus might be our transportation from school to a field trip. So it's how you get from one place to another. And our last word is journey. So a journey is just a long trip that you might take. So like if your family decides to go to Disney World or Hawaii or somewhere really long way away, that would be a journey. Okay, I think we did all of them, guys. Are we ready to get started? Fierce, wide, okay, so we did them all. Okay, so our story that we're gonna read is called The King of the Winds. So this is a story from the Odyssey. So it's a real book that maybe your parents might have read. And this is about a man named Odysseus. Okay, all right, let's get started. The King of the Winds. Once upon a time, a man named Odysseus traveled the world on a great adventure. He and his men sailed the seas in a grand ship. One day, Odysseus and his men sailed to an island. The island was ruled by Aeolus, the king of the winds. Aeolus proudly welcomed Odysseus and his men. "You are welcome here, my brave travelers. Please stay in my city." So Odysseus and his men stayed on the island. He told Aeolus, the king of the winds, about his long journey on the ocean. Eventually, Odysseus was ready to return home. "I have been away from my family for a very long time," he told the king of the winds. To help Odysseus get home, the king of the winds decided to give Odysseus a wonderful gift. What do you think that gift might be? Any guesses? Let's see. The king of the winds handed Odysseus a plain bag. Odysseus watched as the king of the winds filled the bag with many stormy and noisy winds. He used his great strength to tie the top tightly with a string so none of the bad winds could escape. "I have put all of the bad winds into this bag," said the king of the winds. "Now they will not bother you on your way home. Good luck on your long journey." "Thank you," said Odysseus as he took the bag. "Since our transportation is a sailing ship, it will be much easier to travel without terrible winds blowing us in different directions." So Odysseus went back to the ship. His men prepared the ship to sail away from the island. Everyone on the island waved goodbye to Odysseus. Then the king of the winds used a good wind to blow Odysseus and his ship toward home. Sounds like it's going pretty good. Let's see what happens. Odysseus and his men sailed for 9 days. The gentle winds helped push their sea vehicle slowly and safely across the water. On the 10th day, Odysseus could see land from the ship. Soon they would be home with their families. "We are almost home at last," he told his men. "Our ship should reach land soon." Since Odysseus was tired from the long journey, he decided to take a short nap. But his men were not so sleepy. They looked curiously at the big bag that Odysseus had carried onto the ship. "I want to see what is in the bag," said one sailor. "I bet it's filled with gold and silver. We should have some of that treasure for ourselves." Then one of the men ripped open the bag. Odysseus heard a loud noise and quickly woke up. He saw the opened bag and the sailors staring at the angry winds rushing out of it. Oh my goodness. "Oh no!" shouted Odysseus as he jumped up and grabbed the bag, but it was too late. The stormy winds had already escaped from the bag. They swirled around the ship and flew into the sky. Soon there was a terrible storm. The fierce storm lasted for a very long time. As the storm raged, the ship changed course and sailed away from Odysseus' home. "We are moving back toward the island of the King of the Winds," cried Odysseus as he stared at the rolling waves. After sailing on the wide sea for many days, Odysseus and his men gradually reached the island. Odysseus told the King of the Winds what had happened, and he begged him for help. But the King of the Winds would not help Odysseus. "I will not help you this time. You must get home on your own," he said. Odysseus and his men had no choice. Once again they left the island, but this time they had no good winds to carry their ship, and it would take them much longer to get home. The sailors realized that what they did was wrong. They were truly sorry that their curiosity to see what was in the bag caused such trouble. They learned an important lesson, and Odysseus and his men finally made it home after all. Wow, what did you guys think about that story? Man, those sailors really messed up, didn't they? They felt really, really sorry in the end, though. And I think that's an important lesson to learn, that sometimes we mess up, but it's always important to say you're sorry and to learn your lesson when something bad like that happens. Okay, I want you to talk to your parents or someone at your house about this story. See if you can retell them the story that we learned and the lesson that you learned from it. All right, guys, have a great day.